We appear to be in a library. Yes, I noticed that. Why are we in a library? Oh, I can't tell you. You're here for a reason. Didn't you just tell me without telling me, and then saying you weren't going to tell me, and then tell me? Don't try to be confusing. That's my job. Hello and welcome to another episode of TrekHammer, where we're talking about every single episode of Star Trek, and today we're talking about the latest episode of Discovery, Season 5, Episode 7, Labyrinths. This is a fantastic episode. Discovery Season 5 is really making me upset that Discovery is ending, because it's finally hit exactly where it wants to be. It knows what it's doing, and it's doing it well. It's so unfortunate. So we'll continue with the Breen issue, and this is the episode where we find out Maul is dangerous, like seriously dangerous. Not just people telling us it, showing us it. Because she is on a Breen battleship for less than a day and manages to orchestrate a coup. She is a dangerous character. She knows the situation and can manipulate it like that. It's fantastic. She is so well written in this episode, and all it comes down to is her quick-witted assessment of her situation. The guy that's in charge is not great to his people and is willing to put aside their culture for his own ambition. So all she has to do is Lady Macbeth the situation, and she does it straight away. Guy standing next to her, I've identified that you are a potential leader because you are his right-hand man, essentially. So I'm going to whisper in your ear about him and undermine him right in front of his face while he can't do anything about it. So well done. Like, that guy over there, he's willing to sacrifice you and all of your people for his ambition. That guy over there, he's willing to just push aside your culture for his own ambition. That guy over there, he's a prick. That guy over there, you could be him. You could stand where he is. It's so well done. She is a dangerous character, and all we see her do to demonstrate how dangerous she is talk. Incredibly good writing. That is fantastic, and I love it. Also, we get to see just how deep her love and affection for Locke is. She's still fighting to defend him and to try and bring him back to life, and we see it in every part of her action. She's not just on that ship trying to take over for her own sake and to keep herself alive. She's legitimately doing it to try and resurrect her dead lover, her dead husband. It's fantastic writing. That is good stuff. And it's a shame that it's taken 5 seasons to get there, but I'm glad we did in the end, because this is really redeeming Discovery in every single episode, in my view. Meanwhile, we have the Michael Burnham show, where Burnham is essentially showing just how on the rocks the Federation is. I said this in the last episode, that even during the height of the Dominion War, there was no doubt that the Federation was going to come out on top in the end. I don't get any of that from Discovery. What we have here is a very interesting situation, because basically in the Next Generation era and even the original series felt like the start of the forming of the Roman Empire. And then in the Golden Age with TNG, it was the Golden Age of the Empire. It was like we had Federation headquarters in San Francisco. And it was basically Rome when Rome was the center of the world. It was big, it was powerful, it knew exactly what it wanted, and it was happy and secure in its own might. In Discovery's era, Rome is not the capital anymore. Hell, Constantinople's not the capital anymore. At this point in time, the capital of the Roman Empire is Ravenna. And if you know history, you know how bad that is. The capital was Ravenna when the Western Roman Empire fell. No one's heard of Ravenna. It's a nice place, very nice place, but it's not Rome. This is the Federation on its last legs, and it knows it. And nothing shows this more than when the Federation headquarters, which isn't even on a planet, it's hidden out in the middle of nowhere in space, is absolutely dwarfed by one Breen ship. The Breen are huge. The Breen are a threat. The Federation is tiny. It's like a mouse compared to an elephant. It's ridiculous. And the Breen know the Federation is not the powerhouse that it once was. Last time they fought with the Federation in the Dominion Wars, they're here, they're powerful, they know that they can just swat the Federation aside and it won't even matter. So we've got a Federation that can easily lose at any point. The Federation still has its ideals, and we see that come to fore, where Discovery is willing to defend the library where the clue that they're looking for is, despite the fact that they know they cannot go up against the Breen in a fight at all and win. But they're going to do it anyway because Federation ideals are still there. This is wonderful stuff. Meanwhile, Burnham is stuck in her own head inside a library trying to solve a puzzle, and she solves the puzzle, but she does it very much the same way that Janeway did in that episode of Voyager where Kes gets hit by lightning from the spiritual barrier portal thing, and Janeway has to basically go through a spiritual journey in order to ready herself to be able to go through the portal as well and try and save Kes. Janeway blusters through the whole thing, looking at it from a scientific point of view, straight focused on the goal, and missing the entire point of the exercise. Burnham does the same thing because, yeah, they're both scientists. They're both looking at it from the wrong angle. This isn't a scientific thing they're doing. This is a prove your worth thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a moral thing. It's a test of you rather than what you know or what you think or how you work things out. And it's interesting because I always make the joke that Discovery has great writing when it stops crying, and there is a bit of that in this. It's a very personal journey, and as a result, Burnham's not really equipped to seriously do this. The guy that should have been in this journey is Book, because he's far more open, far more emotional, and as a result, he's the person that the test is manifesting for Burnham to talk about it too, which is a nice touch. She gets to try and resolve her issues with him and how she actually still does love him. Because the will they, won't they relationship thing is still working quite well. And as a result, she does finally pass the test, but only because, like Janeway in that previous episode, she puts aside how she normally does things and actually starts listening to what's supposed to be done and what's expected of her in that situation. It's quite good. I really like this episode. Again, we have with our new first officer, whose name I think is Rayner. I'm terrible with names. I'll get it eventually, but only most likely after the season's finished and I get to watch it again. He is brilliantly done. Incredibly well written, incredibly well acted. The actor needs an award. He is so good. I'm getting real Kirk Spock vibes off Burnham and Rayner, by the way. He feels like the older guy who thought he was taking the younger one under their wing, but is actually kind of intermixed and they're becoming one big team. I get real Kirk Spock vibes off these two, and it's wonderful to finally have that again as a new relationship. And it's so annoying that it's happening at the end of the show, but at least we got it. He's there, and he's willing to stand and fight to save the crew, the library and everything. He is the Federation. He's like the old school guy in the wrong time now. He's Kirk's era, but at the end of the Federation where you can't be Kirk anymore. And it's so well done. It's brilliant. I think this is well written, well acted. The effects are good. I'm really enjoying this season, and this episode is damn good as well. It's a bit slower than some of the other ones, and as a result, I don't think I can give it quite the same level of praise, but it's still great. So I'm going to give this a solid 8.8 out of 10. Warp factor 8.8, Mr. Sulu. I'm really enjoying this show. I'm really enjoying this season. I wish it wasn't the end, but sadly, that's what happens. I don't like that 5 is the new 7, as they keep saying, especially when we only get 10 episodes. So remember Star Trek Next Generation on episode 50? That's what we're going to have when Discovery ends. It's not fair to them. These people haven't had enough time to bed in the same way that a traditional Trek did, and it is showing, but they've finally started to find their feet, and it's unfortunate that's happening at the end. Warp factor 8.8 I think is a good score, but do you think I've been too harsh, too easygoing? I'd love to see what you think in the comments section down below. Let's have a talk about Star Trek. Always love that with you guys. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching TrekHammer. Live long and prosper. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow? I'll see you next time. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey 82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.